Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a budget with me for October paycheck number 1, and this is actually my pre-furlough paycheck because I am a government employee. So this is about 75% of my paycheck. We got paid for work done up until September 30th, which was the end of the fiscal year. So that is the money we're going to be working with, and I'm actually not going to be budgeting my entire paycheck, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Just a little bit about me in case you don't know. I'm 26 years old. I live at home. I'm in Texas. I'm a zero-based budgeter, which means we're going to be budgeting out every dollar of my income today. And I also use the cash stuffing method to save up money for future expenses and help control my spending. So with that, we are going to get into the budget. Overall, so I already did the budget in my spreadsheet because I kind of wanted to plan this out. I wasn't sure if we were even going to get paid at all, so I was planning to possibly go into my emergency fund and use some of that money. The irony is this paycheck is a paycheck where I would have fully funded my emergency fund. You guys know I've been working on this thing all year. It's my biggest goal of this year, and this is the paycheck that finally would have fully funded it, but it's fine. We're still like 95% there, so we can work with it. And I was thinking I might even have to go into my emergency fund this paycheck, but since we did get our partial paycheck, I am going to be using some of that, so that is really good. And actually I got paid $16.42, so that was the up to September 30th amount, but we're only going to do a budget with me for $1,000 initially. That is the amount I was going to pull from my emergency fund if I did have to pull from it, and I decided to just stick with that number. And what I'm going to do is take the other $642 and just leave it in my checking account. That way next paycheck, if we don't get paid at all, which is looking likely, I can use some of that money to supplement the missing paycheck essentially. So I'm not going to do a budget with me for the full pay that I got. We're going to do a budget with me for $1,000. And overall, surprisingly, after having made the budget, it's not horrible considering I live at home. Like the biggest expense otherwise would be like rent or something like that. But since I live at home, my rent and bills are really cheap. So that is going to help keep those things low. So overall, in terms of bills and stuff, we're pretty good. And in terms of like spending money, I'm able to hit every category I usually hit. We're just lowering everything. So that's kind of how we're going into this. We're just lowering it, but still spreading out the money a little bit. And then for savings, we're not going to be able to do as much savings as usual, of course, but the only thing is, like on my channel, the other videos that I do are savings challenge videos, so it makes me sad I won't be able to do a lot of my savings challenges, which means a lot of the videos that I do on my channel for the next couple of weeks, but we're just going to kind of go with the flow and see what happens. This video, I'm actually doing it like a week late because I was out of town. So it kind of helps that I was out of town for a few days and didn't need to spend money because I had already saved up the money to go out of town. So that's also going to help with keeping like my spending low, gas low, things like that. But other than that, we're just going to get into the budget and kind of see how things are looking. Okay, so I have my budget pulled up on my phone, so that's what I'll be referencing. But first thing first is going to be income, and that's going to be $1,000. That is what I'm going to pull out of my current paycheck, and we're going to leave the other $600 in my account for next paycheck. And then we can just go straight into bills. My bills are the same. I do the same $375 into my bills savings account every paycheck. And then at the first of the month, my bills automatically just go out from there. So we are going to do the full $375 with our $1,000. We do have enough to do that. So I'm going to do that transfer as normal. Then long-term savings is usually a category that I contribute to, but we're going to be skipping this one. So I usually put $250 a paycheck into my emergency fund, and this would have been the final amount that I needed to do so, but we're just not going to do that one at all today. Of course, no investing because I'm waiting until my emergency fund is fully finished before I get back into that. And then the 100 envelope challenge is the other thing, like a move out, move abroad fund. And sadly, we're going to have to put a pause on that. We're not going to do any 100 envelope challenge this paycheck. I guess if we do get back pay, that would be a way to, I could go back and boost up some of these savings goals, but for now, we're just going to skip it. And we're going to move forward assuming that there is no back pay, just because even that seems dicey at this point. So that's another thing. Initially, I was kind of thinking maybe I can move back and like not save as much in certain categories, but if I get back pay, I can recontribute to it. But now, just in case, we're going to move forward as if I'm not getting back pay, and if I do, that'll just be like extra money to put towards savings, okay? So next we have expenses. So the first one we have is groceries. I typically do $150 a paycheck into groceries. This paycheck, I'm only doing $50, and that's because the past like 2 weeks-ish, I have not bought barely any groceries. I'm thinking the main reason is because like when I go to work and I have like a consistent like routine, I buy like meal prep meals, and I kind of have like my meals set. So like for breakfast, I eat the same thing every day, like my yogurts with granola. For lunch, I buy these meal prep meals at the grocery store that are already made and ready to go. And so since I haven't been going into work, like I've had some of my groceries like already kind of just in the fridge, so I've gone through all of those. Since I haven't been going into work, I don't need to buy the same groceries that I do. I've just been eating what's at the house. I genuinely have just been eating cereal every day. Cereal. Today I made pancakes, but I literally just eat cereal. So I should probably eat some like real food, but I literally have not gone grocery shopping at all. So I have most of my grocery money from last paycheck. I literally have like $120 on my grocery debit card out of like the $150 or $160 I already had. So there's no need to put another $150 on my grocery debit card. So this paycheck, I'm only going to put $50. That'll bring me to like $170 just in case I do some grocery shopping. And if anything, if that continues to roll over, then that'll be helpful for next paycheck, because if I don't get paid next paycheck, having some money still on my grocery card will be helpful. So we're only going to do 50 into groceries just because I already have a lot of grocery money rolling over. Then next is gas. I put $80 on there. That's enough for 2 tanks. But guys, gas has been so cheap. Literally, I drove by, it was Quick Trip. Gas was $2.25. I'm in Texas. $2.25 might be the cheapest I've ever seen it. And then I have Walmart Plus. So if Walmart, like the Walmart gas station is also $2.25, I get 10 cents off a gallon, which means it'd be $2.15 for me to get a gallon of gas. That is actually insane. So $80 is probably generous, but we're going to leave it at my normal 80 just in case. But yeah, like what is gas in your area? Because $2.25, that's probably the cheapest I've ever seen gas in my life. Even during COVID, I don't even think it got that low. So that's really interesting to see. The next categories we have are health and auto. So these are actually sinking funds. The CE column on this means cash envelopes. So I'm saving up for it in my sinking fund binders. And you guys will see that in my cash stuffing video that goes up after this one. And so we're going to be putting $30 into auto and $30 into health. I like to treat saving for these things as like a bill or an expense. So I put that in this category just because, you know, auto and health expenses are inevitable. Like I need to save up for them. Just because when they do happen, they're usually pretty big. I know I need to get new tires, so I've been really trying to save a lot in auto for that. And then health, like just doctor's appointments, prescriptions, things like that. So $30 is actually a pretty good amount for me. So we're going to be putting that amount into each of those envelopes. And then for donations, I have to increase, you'll see the actual amount, but we're going to increase this one to 50. So I wasn't sure if I was going to do this category or not, but then there are 2 things that I wanted to donate to that have just come up. So I am going to do $50 into donations. One of them, the Grounded Dollar here on YouTube, she's doing kind of like a fundraiser, you could say, on her Ko-Fi. She has a savings challenge that goes towards helping people who are experiencing homelessness, to give them like blankets and stuff for when they're out in the cold, things like that. And so I want to donate to her organization and maybe some other people that I know. So we are going to do $50 into donations. Then in miscellaneous, I'm going to do $50 because miscellaneous things just pop up. Like I might look at my credit card and be like, who charged that? So just in case anything pops up, I want to have $50 kind of flexible and in miscellaneous money. Then next we have subscriptions. I don't have that many monthly subscriptions. A lot of mine are annual, so I save up for them in my sinking fund binders. But I do have one that is monthly, which is my Regal Unlimited. So I can see unlimited movies at Regal movie theaters. We actually just went to see Tron today. So if you guys have seen that, let me know what you thought. I thought it was pretty good. Some people don't like Jared Leto, but I thought it was good. I thought it was fine. Next is going to be my spending money category. So this is definitely discretionary spending, but we actually have enough in the budget to still include these. So that is really good. These are categories, like I said, this budget, we're going to be hitting all the categories that I usually do. We're just decreasing a lot of them. So for example, in eating out, just kind of seeing how much I had left over in this budget, I put $76. That's kind of like a random number. And it's actually less than I usually do for eating out, but it's still a little bit of something because, like, let's face it, I'm going to eat out at some point, right? Like, I'm not going to only eat at home. So I might as well put something in these categories. So 76 into eating out. And I'm thinking typically what I do at the end of every paycheck is if I have extra money in my wallet, extra spending money that I did not spend, I pull all of that money out and I put it towards savings. But I think this paycheck, if I have extra money in my wallet, I'm going to leave all of that money in my wallet, and we're going to add the money that we're budgeting today to the wallet, and we're just going to roll that money over. That way I have a little bit more in my wallet for spending money. So whatever's in my wallet right now for eating out, like maybe I still have $20 or $30 there, we're going to leave that money in there. You'll see this in the cash stuffing tomorrow if you're not sure what I'm talking about. And then we're going to add $76 to eating out, and that will be what I have. Then shopping is going to get $50. Beauty and clothes, I don't have any like nail appointment or anything, but I feel like there's something I needed to buy, something I was going to order, so I made sure to put like $50 to put something in there. That way I can stock up on whatever I was planning to get. And then entertainment, $25. Again, if I go to the movies or something, my movie ticket is free, but if I like to get popcorn at the theater or something, I like to have a little bit of money in entertainment, so I put $25 in entertainment in case I do go out and do anything like that. So I'm really like excited that I'm able to still put money into my wallet for spending, but it's just gonna be a little bit less, but that's okay, especially because we're already 1 week into the budget. Like, I'm doing this video a little bit late since I was out of town, so it's already been about a week, so this money will only actually need to last me 1 more week, so I should be okay if you think about it that way, right? And then lastly, we're going to go into my sinking fund categories, which this is actually also really good because that means I'm able to do a little bit of saving even with this partial paycheck. So first, 2 sinking fund categories, 2 future expenses that I want to slowly start saving up for are subscriptions and gifts. Subscriptions is going to be miscellaneous subscriptions. Well, actually, I know what this is going towards. It's going towards Clear. So Clear is like when you're traveling, it's the expedited line through TSA. Essentially, you skip the entire TSA line and the Clear agent just brings you straight to the front and you can immediately take your bags to the scanner and stuff. And so we have Clear. I'm like a guest add-on to my mom's main account. And in the past, I recall it being like $60, $70 for the year to be added on as a guest, but I guess they increased their price and it is now like $125. So I actually saved up $70 because that's what I thought the cost was going to be. And like I had the money ready to go, so I could give it to my mom, and they raised the price over the past year or something. So now it's $125. And I'm like, I'm trying to decide if Clear is worth $125. $70, okay. $125, I don't know, especially because I have TSA pre-check. So, like, my mom, she's already been charged it, it's whatever. So I think for this year, me and my sister are going to keep the Clear for $125, but I need to save up more money in subscriptions because I only have $70 saved up for that, and I need it a little bit more. And that's an example, like the $50 that I put into miscellaneous, that's something I might use it for. I might put this $15 towards Clear, and then I might use that miscellaneous money, however much I need to get it to $125, and then just do the transfer for my mom. But yeah, that's an example of what miscellaneous might be needed for, and I think that's what we're gonna do. That way I can just transfer her the money now and not like keep trying to save up for it over the next couple paychecks, because the next couple paychecks might not happen. And then next is gifts, and I'm also going to be putting $15 into that because I will be saving up for my mom's birthday next month. So I just want to get a little head start on that and start saving up a little bit at a time so that we are good to go when that happens. So you guys will see all of that in my cash stuffing video because these are cash stuffing categories. And then everything else is blank. We're going to scroll all the way down to savings challenges, and we are only going to do 2 of my savings challenges. All those savings challenges you see, I usually do all of those videos, like at least $50 into all of those. But this paycheck, we're going to narrow it down to 2. One, I have to do Christmas. I'm setting aside $50 a paycheck towards Christmas. That way I'll have $1,000 saved by October, which is now. So I think either this is the last $50 I need or next paycheck would be the last $50 I need. But either way, we will be hitting the $1,000 like in October-ish. And so then Christmas will be fully saved up for it, which is really nice. But that one is also, even though it's a savings challenge, it's kind of like an expense because I do need to be saving up for it. And then the next saving challenge we're going to do is the K-pop binder. Again, saving challenges are the other videos that I do on my channel, so I want to try to do at least 1 or 2 of them. That way I still have some content to post, things like that. And so since the K-pop binder is my favorite video to do, oops, okay, not my phone going off. But since the K-pop binder is my favorite video to do, I wanted to include that one. Like, I should at least include a video that I really like to do. So we're going to be putting $50 into Christmas, $50 into the K-pop binder, so you guys can look out for that video. And guys, that is the budget. Let me know what you think. Overall, it's not horrible. Again, like living at home is probably what helps me the most. Like I have coworkers where, you know, both of them are government employees and both are furloughed, or one of them just bought a house. Like there are definitely people who are going through all types of situations. So I'm definitely very fortunate to still be living at home. Like I'm a single adult, just mostly having to pay for my own bills and not having to be a caretaker for anybody else. So that really helps make this tight budget work out really well. But with that, the budget is all set. What I need to do is now a cash planning, so that way I can pick out what denominations of bills I want in cash for when I do my cash stuffing video tomorrow. So now we're gonna move over to my desk and we're gonna do a little bit of cash planning. All right, let's get into the cash planning. I've been playing around with what I want my budget set up for 2026 to look like, and I got this Happy Planner Deluxe cover off of Poshmark of all places, guys, for $7. I've been thinking about it. Like I use my own templates. I have rings already. All I need is a cover, and I really wanted a deluxe cover like one of the leather ones, and so I was trying to get a little creative on where I could find one for a good price, because on the Happy Planner website, like the price was not giving. But on Poshmark, someone was selling one for a really good price, $10, but I offered $7 and they took it. So I'm so excited that I will be using this one right here. And then I already have like the templates that I already use and everything. So I just need to print and cut them out. I might try buying 7x9 paper and then just printing them out on there versus cutting out each page. But yeah, like I'm excited to get started and see how this goes. But I think we're just gonna use a random sheet that I already have in here for my cash planning today, which is right here. And let me pull up my budget on my phone. So not every category that I mentioned in the budget with me needs to be cash planned. Only the categories that are going into a sinking fund binder up here or in my wallet are going to go onto this paper. And I also just realized something. Like I know I said I was going to increase donations to $50 instead of $30, but I budgeted for $1,000, so I'd have to take away $20 from somewhere. I think I'm just going to leave the donations as $30 and take the $20 from miscellaneous. So either way, it's all gonna come from somewhere, but I'm not going to change it in the budget or like in the screenshot that you guys see. So if it's different from what I just said, that is why. But other than that, we're gonna go ahead and start writing down categories, and the first thing we're gonna do is probably my wallet. Let's see if we can zoom in a little bit. I think that helps. And let's start with my wallet categories. First, we have eating out, and that is going to get $76. How do I want to do that? Let's do 2 20s and 3 10s, 1 5 and 5, no, 1 5 and 1 1, 40, 50, 60, 75 and 76. Okay. Next we have shopping. Shopping is going to get $50. Let's do 2 20s and a 10. Then we have beauty. It's also getting $50. Let's do 2 20s and a 10. Then we have entertainment, which is getting $25. So let's do a 20 and a 5. And then again, instead of rolling over any extra money into savings, we're going to keep all that money in there. So I will have a little bit more than this in my wallet, which is a good thing. Then for my sinking funds, we have 4 of them, which we're going to be adding to, which are my 4 high priority categories. So I am glad to at least be able to add to the high priority ones. Starting with auto, it is getting $30. That's going to be a 20 and a 10. Then health is also getting $30, 120 and 110. Then we have subscriptions and gifts. Subscriptions and gifts, they're both getting the same thing, 15 and 15. So we're gonna do a 10 and a 5 in each. And then lastly, this is like the quickest cash planning ever. We're gonna be doing savings challenges, and we're gonna be doing Christmas and the K-pop binder. Christmas and K-pop are both getting $50. For Christmas, I always do 4 10s, 1 5, and 5 1s. And for the K-pop binder, let's do 2 10s for $50. I usually do like 15 1s. So we're at 35, so that means 3 5s. So 20, 35, 40, 50. Okay, that's $50. So we need to add up in total how much this is and see how much in cash I need to get from the bank this paycheck. So we'll zoom back out. There we go. So we can do 76 plus 50 plus 50 plus 25 plus 30 plus 30 plus 15 plus 15 plus 50 plus 50. $391. Let's see. We're going to put that right here. $391. And then what we need to do is add up all of these quantities down here and see if this equals $391 and see if my math is correct. So for quantities, we have 21 $1 bills, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 $5 bills, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14, 13, 13, 14, 15. Oh my gosh, I cannot do math. I feel like I need to double check that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, 15. 1, 2, 3, or 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, right, 9, $10 bills. Let's see if this is correct. So 21 ones is going to be $21. 8 fives is going to be $40. 15 tens. Okay, that's a lot of tens actually. So that is $150, and then 9 20s should be $180. Does that math look like it's going to be right? I think so. $180 plus $150 plus $40 plus 21 is $391. So we did do that correctly. Now, finally, what I need is a bank slip, and this is what I give the teller so they can clearly see exactly how much of each bill I want without having to explain it in a complicated way. So in 20s, I need 180. In 10s, I need 150. 5s, I need 40, and 1s, I need 21 for a total of $391. Guys, I'm so sad that I can't do my savings challenges, but at the end of the day, the most important bills are being taken care of, and that is what's important. And that is all for our cash planning. Okay guys, so that is all for the budget with me and cash planning portion. Stay tuned for tomorrow's cash stuffing video where you guys can see this budget in action. I'm definitely feeling very grateful that we are able to make this tighter budget work. Like, this just goes to show the importance of knowing your budget, starting an emergency fund, because unpredictable situations like these can pop up at any time, whether it's furlough, job loss, injury, anything like that. So this is just a great example of why it is so important to be knowledgeable and intentional with your finances. And other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.